I'm John Bala, Chief Content Creator of the Critical Thinking Literacy channel. Today, we explore the groundbreaking work of Daniel Kahneman and his masterpiece, Thinking Fast and Slow, also known as dual process theory. We like to think of ourselves as rational beings, but the truth is far more complex. Our minds are a battlefield between two very different systems. But here's why this should matter to you today. Your life is largely the sum of your decisions, and almost all of them are made by one of these two systems, often without your permission. Learn to tell them apart and watch what changes. You'll catch the impulse before it empties your wallet. You'll catch the angry reply before you hit send. You'll notice when a slick headline or a political ad is renting space in your head and evict it. Less anxiety, fewer 2 a.m. regrets, sharper judgment, a mind that finally works for you instead of behind your back. That's not a self-help promise. It's the predictable payoff of understanding the machinery, and this video hands you the blueprint. With that said, let's get into it. Daniel Kahneman's journey, alongside his collaborator Amos Tversky, revolutionized our understanding of human decision-making, earning him the Nobel Prize in 2002. In his 2011 layperson-friendly title, Thinking Fast and Slow, which quickly became a New York Times bestseller, Kahneman succeeded in taking the dry academic language of System 1 and System 2 constructs developed by cognitive psychologists Keith Stanovich and Richard West and transform them from a technical psychological model into a unified mainstream theory of human nature. It is here where Kahneman describes System 1 cognition as fast, automatic, effortless, and emotional, in contrast to System 2 cognition, which is deliberate and leverages executive function. It's also slow and effortful, but also famously lazy. At the heart of this are heuristics, mental shortcuts. System 1 uses these natural fits to navigate the world instantly and without effort. Consider impulse buying. System 1 sees the candy and reacts. System 2 is the one that reminds you of your healthy eating or long-term financial goals. Driving on a familiar highway is mostly System 1, but parallel parking in a tight spot, that's when System 2 takes the wheel. When a frustrating email arrives, System 1 wants to snap back, but System 2 suggests waiting until you're calm. Neurologically, System 1 is rooted in the amygdala, where threat detection, emotional regulation, and memory consolidation occur automatically as a byproduct of human evolution. System 2 resides largely in the prefrontal cortex, where executive functions like planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, impulse control, and working memory abound. So which one wins? The short answer is, it depends. That alone doesn't tell us much. The best way I found to understand this dynamic is through storytelling. A Native American elder is playing with his grandson. At one point, Grandpa begins to tell the story of the two wolves that live in his head. They fight and fight and fight, he says intently to his grandson. The young boy turns pensive and quiet, then he utters, "So, which one wins?" "That's a very good question, my son. It's the one you feed that wins. It will make you wise beyond your years." Obviously, for our purposes, System 1 and System 2 are the two wolves. Except, as we just learned, they are not equals, which makes the analogy an imperfect one. System 1 is automatic. We don't have to do anything to invoke it, but unlike System 1, System 2 must be engaged to override it. If we don't feed it, or in our case, invoke it, System 2 will not act independently of System 1. Instead, it will subordinate itself to System 1 by justifying or rationalizing the System 1 decision. But if we do feed or invoke System 2, it will intervene proactively by questioning the reasonableness of System 1, and in so doing, override System 1 entirely when conditions warrant. The big problem, as you know by now, is that System 2 is famously lazy. It requires effort, sometimes a great deal of effort, to act independently of System 1. But no such handicap exists for System 1. It acts automatically, sometimes in our best interests, but often not so much. Join us for Part 2, where we'll dive deep into specific heuristics, cognitive biases, and logical fallacies that interact in sometimes strange and counterintuitive ways with System 1 and System 2. We'll explore three nuanced, real-world examples we all experience, but often only subconsciously. We will show you how to recognize all three so you can consciously course-correct to meet your goals, align with your values, and be more efficient. It all can be summed up in a single word: self-empowerment. So before you go, remember what's now in your hands. You may have come in thinking you were the rational one, always. You leave knowing that two systems run your mind, one fast and impulsive, the other slow and lazy. And the difference between behaving on autopilot, System 1, and proactively summoning your conscious mind, System 2, is simply knowing which one is driving, or should be driving. Feed the slow one when it counts, and the payoff compounds. The impulse caught, the reply unsent, the manipulation spotted, the regret never made. Fewer decisions that haunt you, more that your future self thanks you for. That's not theory, that's a skill, and like any skill, it grows every time you use it. Democracies run on arguments, good ones and bad ones. And right now, across the political spectrum, arguments that are long on anger, resentment, and outrage, and short on facts, evidence, and data are winning. And the score isn't even close. That should concern every citizen, regardless of party. Because a public that can't tell reasoning from rhetoric is vulnerable to whoever shouts loudest. I'm not willing to just watch that happen, and I suspect many of you aren't either. This channel is built on one bet: that the tools of clear and critical thinking placed directly in citizens' hands are worth more than any slogan. They are a political and moral necessity if a democracy is to flourish. Every video is designed to give you those tools. If that's something you value, equip yourself, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who'd put it to use. Until next time, I'm John Bala, reminding you to think critically and choose wisely.